4K Ultra HD. The ultimate movie watching experience.
You're a smart motherfucker, that's right.
Welcome back to 4K Kings. My name is Matt.
And I am Russ.
And today we're here with another video discussing the best 4K transfers of all time. We have a first volume out there, and now we're back with a whole new list of titles that you cannot live without. Titles that are universally praised, universally beloved, not only by us, but also by the community. These are your top-notch titles for Volume 2.
Who shall withstand the power of God?
10 Commandments, a 4K that came out not that long ago. When people think about the 4K format, classics always come to mind. These are movies that really showcase the power of the 4K format. What they're able to kind of regain from those original negatives is just insane. And if you look at any review, it's like 10 Commandments is the one.
And it may be the one, but I refuse to live my life by them.
Now all we're waiting for is the Rugrats version of the 10 Commandments episode in 4K, which I loved as a kid.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Did you watch Rugrats?
Coming up next.
All right, cut the bullshit!
John Carpenter, almost every movie that he's ever made is out at 4K at this point. The Thing is one that looks absolutely stunning as well. This came out a few years ago when we first started this channel, and I remember thinking how much more gross that level of clarity made certain scenes.
It brought out the wetness.
It
brought out the liquid. Everything felt slimier and real.
You see this in some cases where there just feels like there's a layer of almost like haze that is taken away, and a lot of things color-wise are punched up a little bit more, and especially those practical effects. The Thing is a phenomenal film, obviously, but in the 4K that we got, I'm really pleased. And I would say, as well as it looks like the community would agree, that it is one of the best of all time.
Well, I declare.
The 1955 masterpiece, Night of the Hunter.
And that came out in 4K from Kino Lorber. It's the only studio that's put it out in 4K so far. Previously, Criterion had put it out in Blu-ray, but Kino scooped it up and put it out on 4K, and it is nothing short of, again, impressive. A black and white film that looks absolutely stunning in this transfer. The detail within the black and white that comes through, that you're just sort of used to seeing very fuzzy, but there's such detail that just comes through now, and it just looks incredible.
Night of the Hunter has a fantastical element. You know, a lot of great shot composition, a lot of just moons and set designs and animals and things like that in 4K, it pops off the screen.
It's one of the best 4Ks I own, and if you're a fan of that film, this is definitely the one to own. And if you've never seen this film, check this out in 4K immediately.
Can I get that through your head, you poor, silly, disgusting little wretch?
Next up, Roadhouse. When Vinegar Syndrome picked that bad boy up, we were both ecstatic. Not only because it was getting a 4K, but Vinegar Syndrome has got a reputation of excellent transfers, excellent 4Ks. They absolutely crushed this transfer.
If you had the prior Blu-ray release, it was missing certain features that another edition had. And the Vinegar Syndrome 4K managed to compile all of them into one. Specifically, a commentary with Kevin Smith. Great box. Vinegar Syndrome did it justice.
The VSU that we've got is long since sold out. However, you can still pick this up through Vinegar Syndrome, and it is one of the best 4Ks of all time.
Just lucky, I guess.
Collectively agreed upon and endorsed by Matt and I, Starship Troopers is one of the best 4Ks of all time. We watched this in 4K together, didn't we not?
We did, and it was the very first time I'd actually ever seen it. From what I saw, knowing the year that it came out, knowing what kind of movie that it is, I was thoroughly impressed.
And what's insane about this 4K, first off, CGI was still kind of in its infancy, but it looks incredible in this film. It isn't lost in translation in the 4K. It's somehow enhanced.
Right.
Which sometimes when you go back to movies from the 90s and you impose this clarity upon them, you notice in Starship Troopers, this CGI looks better than it did before.
Really?
The Matrix, another movie that Really happy that they didn't screw up. Sci-fi, horror, films of that nature, I feel like deserve a certain level of respect, as well as the old classics when we're trying to bring them back and restore them so that they're not lost and forgotten. But films like this that kind of have that, hyper-realistic feel, when you bring those things into 4K, sometimes it's just a whole different experience. And this is definitely one of the best 4K transfers in the format. For this restoration, they did all of us a huge favor by toning down that green tint that washed over every frame of the Blu-ray. That green still exists, but natural tones can make its way through as well, which really make this film look outstanding and one of the best 4Ks the format has to offer.
Well, that's just what we call pillow talk, baby.
Army of Darkness. While Evil Dead 1 looks excellent on 4K and Evil Dead 2 looks excellent on 4K, this one to me just really upped the bar a little bit from what I remember on my Blu-rays, on my DVDs, and on my VHS, to be honest. It really brought me back to the theater experience, but also I remember thinking like, wow, I don't ever remember this looking this good.
Come on, let's not kid ourselves. Evil Dead, this series has been released and re-released to death. But there was one edition I had at one point of Army of Darkness. It looked like trash.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. Like, I couldn't even make out what was going on in parts of it. Going from that to this 4K, the scope of it all just comes to fruition in such a beautiful way with this title.
One of the best of all time. Coming in hot is Titanic. And the irony here is that out of all of the James Cameron 4Ks people probably wanted to look good, this probably wasn't the one on their mind.
You know what I mean?
This came out in the theater in 4K 3D. And it was remastered for 3D. And I will absolutely say, with no BS, it was incredible, especially the scenes where the water's rushing towards you. It almost felt like I was in an amusement park ride. Come to get the 4K home, and that same level of clarity is there, minus the 3D. James Cameron, he made sure this one was right, I feel like. You can say what you want about The Abyss and Aliens and True Lies. You're absolutely right on the True Lies.
Assholes.
A couple of brand new titles, Russ. Titles that are taking the physical media community by storm.
They are, and we're proud of these titles because I think these are converting new collectors.
The first one, Dune 1, and the sequel, Dune 2. And I'm sure coming soon, Dune 3. We're talking Denis Villeneuve.
That's who we're talking about.
We're talking Denis. And Denis Villeneuve is also another person who puts out consistently excellent 4Ks. Sicario is excellent. Arrival is excellent. This one is absolutely no slouch. The audio is also some of the best Atmos soundtracks. These titles are blowing the format away at home, just like they blew people away in the theater, and that's what you could only hope for.
I agree with everything you said, Matt, but the only thing we're lacking in 4K now is a giant goddamn spider.
The newest on the list, and another title that's taking physical media by storm, not just because of the wonderful packaging and steelbook that it's coming in, but also the praise that the transfer itself is getting, and that is for Nosferatu. Again, is proven to be a very popular theatrical release. It's brought a lot of people into the theater to see. I've heard nothing but high praise about this film. The ambience that this movie has, the level of murkiness, the darkness of it all, and how the 4K format really makes that a lot more insidious feeling when you're watching it. The Witch it's not black and white, but it might as well be. Same thing with The Lighthouse is black and white. Nosferatu's like black and blue. The way that his movies look just really lend themselves to 4K.
With this film, Eggers has officially became a rock star. I mean, he got the masses out into the theaters. He has people buying physical media copies of this film who typically don't collect movies, and he's delivering the product. The Witch looked great for the second sight.
Yep.
This looks incredible. His films, as you said, they're horror, which always lends itself well to upgrades in quality. Salute to Robert Eggers.
Thank you.
Before we get out of here, Russ, let's give quick personal picks. Ones that we personally feel like are some of the best we've ever seen. We think the audience agrees, but maybe not.
This is a selection that would make a top 5 Desert Island 4K pick, and that is the recently released Quentin Tarantino masterpiece, Jackie Brown, which I have here in this Lionsgate limited edition steelbook. When I put this in, I was expecting an upgrade, but I wasn't expecting to be sitting on my couch and suddenly be in California. Everything in this movie is sunny, vibrant. It's just everything I want this great masterpiece of a hangout film to be. It captures California so beautifully.
I agree with what you're saying, and I'm really happy that they did the same for Jackie Brown that they did for Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction. Both of those came out, again, brand new, and it looks as great as those other two. So those 3 early Tarantino titles now all match in glorious 4K.
And let's not kid ourselves. If you are in our age demographic, those are the holy trinity. So when you absolutely positively got to impress every viewer in the room,
except no substitutes.
My personal pick is a movie that I've talked about on this channel probably 100 times at this point. It was on my top 5 of last year. On a recommendation video that we did, I selected this as well as its sequel, and I'm here to tell you again, if you didn't listen to me yet, this is one of the best 4K transfers of all time, as well as one of the best action movies that has ever existed, and that is The Raid. This is a fairly low budget film. It's all in one location. I remember the setting being a little bit drab, artificial light. Everybody's got the same outfit on. I was kind of like, what could you do? But then not only did it get announced and I was like, holy shit, they're going to put this out in 4K. And then when I saw what they did, it was like, I was just shocked to kind of know what the director really wanted for this film and how he wished it would look, or what he probably couldn't get to for the first release. Now you're seeing this movie for the first time, and wow, are the grays and all of that drab look, it's completely gone. Just a perfect type of release, not only for the film that it is, but for the quality and the care that went into it. One of the best 4Ks of all time. So that's Volume 2, Russ.
Volume 2.
Volume 2, maybe a Volume 3 later. We know that there are plenty more out there that maybe didn't make this particular volume. If you didn't see a title you thought you would on this list, maybe it's on Volume 1. Check that video out as well. Thank you for watching this. Let us know what some of your favorites are down below. Check out some more of our other videos. We live stream every other Wednesday and so much more.
And if you haven't subscribed to us, make sure you do so. Matt and I are on a goal to reach 20K subs, and we got a lot of fans out there. If you don't take our word for it, just listen to Robert Forster's thoughts on the 4K Kings.
They're pretty good.
Misery. And there's almost like something was wiped away from the screen, and now you can see what you were meant to see. James Caan's shoulders coming into that 4K clarity.
His shoulders just existed in 4K clarity. I mean, even Betamax caught his shoulders in 4K.
Any James Caan movie you watched, his shoulders were always in 3D. Didn't even need the glasses.
Yes.